Chapter 2. On the first day of school, some kids were in my face saying, "What kind of stupid name is Christmas Angel DeVito? It should be Christmas Tree." I was confused about who I was. The foster family that had abused me had called me Chris, but Daddy had told me that he wanted to call me Angel so that we could let the past go. "My name is Angel, and it's a pretty name," I told the kids. That's what my dad had said. "It's stupid," they argued back. Around and around they ran, calling me Christmas Tree. Daddy had to drive to school the next day to explain why 2 kids had bruises and why I shouldn't be expelled. Although he agreed that it had been cruel for them to have made fun of me, he didn't agree with the way I'd handled the situation. Later, me and Yellow talked about it. Yellow told me that people called him all kinds of ugly names, but he didn't bite them. He said that since I was tough, I could ignore those dumb kids and maybe find fame by being a superhero like Superman. You know, save the weaker kids who can't defend themselves from anyone that bothers them. I expected Daddy to tell me what a smart dog Yellow was when I told him what he had said. Instead, he looked at me strangely and replied, "How about I buy you a drum set to beat on and you forget about being a superhero? I'll teach you to play like a pro." Okay, I agreed at the time. But what really happened is that I stopped picking as many fights with people that irritated me and started, in my mind, being that superhero. I began to see the weaker kids that were minding their own business getting harassed by people whom I considered bullies. When I saw that happening, I stepped right in and stopped it. I was helping people, just like the aliens had wanted me to do. There was only one boy that I was scared of, but I'd never step down from a fight with him either. Another problem with school was that my grade level was already beyond other kids my age. I was only in the 1st grade, but I was reading at a 6th grade level, and learning seemed to come so easily for me. It left me bored and thinking about how stupid all the other kids were. The school suggested to my dad that I go to school in Greenville for the academically advanced. He didn't agree with them because Greenville was an hour away. The school talked about me skipping a grade or 2, but he didn't agree with that either. He thought it best that I stay in the grade I was supposed to be in. In the future, I'd wonder if I couldn't have gone on to do greater things had I gone to the academically advanced school. At home, Daddy had listened to Bob and Nancy. They seemed to think I should play with dolls and watch kids shows like Sesame Street because that's what so-called normal kids did. I liked to play ball, but not with dolls, and I wanted to watch the Discovery Channel and the History Channel more than anything. The only cartoon I watched was Speed Racer. I had no interest in anything childlike. I liked watching my dad fix things, especially mechanical things. I was good at handing him the correct tools as he worked on the tractor or his truck, and I could have told anyone how an engine worked. Daddy punished me the second time I got into a fight at school. He had warned me that if I got into another fight that he was making me get my hair cut. He was plenty angry at me, and I knew that he was going to make me do this. "Daddy, do you really think you need to do this?" I asked him. If so, then I had an answer too. "Yes, you need to learn that bad behavior results in punishment," was his answer. As I waited in my room for him to finish feeding the cows, I decided that I could do a better job than at the hair salon. Besides, it would get him off my case. I went and got the scissors, then I stood on a chair in the bathroom to look in the mirror. I cut my bangs, and then I gathered up my long hair and brought it to my front. I cut probably 4 or 5 inches off. Then I smoothed my hair and looked at my reflection. It hadn't quite gone like I thought it would, but it was cool and it was different. "What have you done?" he yelled when he saw me in my magnificent new haircut. "You wanted it cut because I was bad, so I cut it," I informed him. I couldn't believe he didn't understand that. I surely didn't understand him at all. Parents were so hard to figure out. He had threatened and threatened to cut my hair, so I'd done it myself. What was the big deal anyway? He ran it to Bob and Nancy. Nancy cut more of my hair off. She said it wasn't quite straight. I couldn't believe she was messing it up, but I dealt with it. She asked me what I had been thinking. Sometimes parents don't know what they really want, I explained to her.